welcome everybody who has already joined us and on Zoom and on Facebook. Welcome to our exclusive webinar on studying MBA in Germany. Another webinar, another unique chance to you, dear prospective students, I would say, to get in touch directly with program representatives and get the best possible answers from them. For those, just quickly to say, for those who are joining us on Facebook, and I already saw some, so if you would like, if you can, and there is an opportunity for you to join us on Zoom, do that, because here you will have more chances in terms of interaction. You will be able to send your questions in the Q&A section, which you can see, dear attendees, on Zoom below on the bottom of the Zoom interface. And you can also follow the chat, where we will be sharing some interesting information, interesting links about the programs and generally about studying in Germany. Okay, so my name is Georgi, and I will be today the host/moderator of this webinar, and my colleague 𝘱𝘢 will be purely moderating today and helping to, answering your questions throughout the whole webinar in the Q&A section. Regarding the questions, I would really like to ask dear attendees, whenever you have question to direct program that is present today, please mention it in the question so that the follow-up is more smooth and quick. And yeah, as you can see, we are not alone today, and we have special guests who will be the main hosts today, I would say, and I will really shortly introduce them. But before I do that, I would like to ask 𝘱𝘢 to introduce really briefly MyGermanUniversity herself. Then I will have a small presentation. We'll provide you, dear friends, with some interesting information about studying in Germany, and then we'll hand it over to our guests. So 𝘱𝘢, the floor is yours now.
Hello, everyone. Thank you again for joining us today for the MBA webinar. So before we go into the topic, I would just like to let you know a little bit more about what MyGermanUniversity is, as well as what we can offer you in terms of, informations and opportunities to know more about this whole, application processes and the whole, all the stuff about how studying in Germany will work. So first thing first, when you get on the MyGermanUniversity website, you'll see on the left-hand side our study finder. So this is essentially a database we created with an emphasis on English-speaking programs in Germany. So if you're trying to study in Germany in English, this would be a great place to start to look for, programs you might be interested in. You could always play around with the filters we have set up, per cities, whether you want to go to a public or private universities, and of course, based on the subjects you want to study as well. So make sure to take a look at that. Another things that we provided on our webpage is the articles. So right now we have more than 70, I think it's probably a little bit more than that now, articles with different topics regarding the whole, studying in Germany, the whole journey of it. So from the scholarships to, the degree requirements you might need to fulfill. So I would say that this is a really good place if you are looking forward to get sort of a little bit more comprehensive, in length and in-depth information about a particular topic. So I would highly recommend to check that out as well. Last thing that we offer, like what we are doing right now, is our weekly webinars. So essentially we are offering two types of webinars. The first one would be on the more general topics. So for example, Georgi also hosts super useful webinars on how to apply for scholarships and how to apply via UniAssist. The other type of webinars we offer are in collaborations with different universities. So we will be inviting guests and professors from different universities in Germany to introduce their programs. So if you already have in mind or know what kind of programs you will be interested in, you could always join one of the more specific ones to know more about these programs. So this is the more interactive options we offer, I would say. Last but not least, just a little bit more about MyGermanUniversity. So we are a tech startup based in Hamburg, Germany. But our colleagues or our student counselors are from essentially everywhere from this around the world. So we have people from Georgia, we have people from the US, people from Brazil. That's why we are also able to offer counseling services in several different languages as well. Currently, we are also doing it in Italian and Spanish, I think in Portuguese and Russian as well. So if those are your mother language, feel free to also send us emails or questions, get in contact in those languages as well. We are always happy to hear from you. So that is it all from my side. So again, like 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘵 already said, I will be in the background answering your questions for today's webinar, and I will also be posting some important information and links in the chat box below as well. So make sure you keep an eye on that. If you have any specific questions regarding one of the programs that we're introducing today, please make sure to have their names when you're typing your questions in the Q&A box so that, you know, the presenters can directly answer your questions. I'll be taking care of the more general ones as well. So hope you will enjoy today's webinar.
Thank you very much, 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝑏, for this really nice introduction. And not to take a lot of time now from our attendees and speakers, I will quickly jump into my part of the presentation. And as 𝘱𝘢𝘪 said, she will go now behind the scenes and she will be here throughout the whole webinar. So you are already welcome to send your questions in the Q&A section. Okay, so, and we have, I think, already the first one. As we said several times, today's topic is studying MBA in Germany. And let me quickly introduce to you our speakers, our webinar agenda. So we have several special guests from 2 universities presenting 2 programs. We have Professor Dr. Andreas Gissel and Ms. Eva Nefen from Hochschul Ludwigshafen, who will be presenting their programs in MBA International Business Management. And then it will be followed by Ms. Lydia Schindler, who is from Hochschul Offenburg, her presentation of MBA in International Business Consulting. But again, really quickly, we will reach this point. This is the most important point, but let me tell you some things about studying in Germany right now. So for those students who don't know where to search for programs, and for those who would like to search to find German taught programs in German language, we would suggest that the Hochschulkompass would be your stop. So if you go to Hochschulkompass and try to find the programs in MBA or related subjects, you will be able to find 89-degree programs, and only 44 of these programs will be in English. So not that really big choice in terms of English language, but quite a big one in German language. However, for those students who I suppose are who are attending mostly are interested in English-taught study programs, then for you, I would say our study finder, which was mentioned kindly by 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘵, would be your stop, really, because here you can find 115-degree programs for MBA in English, and 102 of them would be English only, which is a really great opportunity for those who are searching for English-taught programs. And I would like to ask 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘵 to share in the chat the link to our study finder so the students can familiarize themselves with this tool. What we also have when you go to our page is the subject pages. For example, for MBA, we also have some subject pages, and the idea is that there you can find some general information, for example, regarding the MBA, meaning that, for example, what are the rankings of those universities that are offering this program in MBA or related field, or what are the general tuition fee ranges that you would expect when it comes to MBA in Germany, what are generally application and admission requirements, just a glimpse on that, and what would you expect in terms of language requirements. So all the general information that, especially for those students who still don't know what to expect, so this will create a good idea of what it means, for example, studying MBA in Germany in different aspects. Our pro tip of course, is that you should always search for university profile and study program which is really right for you. But we would really suggest that you shouldn't be guided but like quantitative metrics only, for example, by fees or rankings, because yes, rankings are really popular thing, but don't forget that they do not always catch all those important details that are really significant exactly for you. So there can be some, of course, in the rankings in those universities and programs which are ranked top on internationally well-known rankings are really nice ones. But it doesn't mean that those universities that are ranked lower are not good ones or do not provide really quality education. This is not true, because exactly these other programs may be the better fit for you, because they have stress on more important on aspects that are more important for you. So another thing is that some students also search by cities only, so they think that only universities in Berlin or Munich, let's say, are the best ones. Of course, they're really, really good ones, but in Germany, in many cities, in many towns, there are really great universities which provide really high quality programs and where you can really get high quality education. So do not doubt it. Just believe me, I have an experience in that as well. So no, don't be guided by city names only. Another interesting distinctions that you would like to know is that actually I would say that you should know about two types of universities, roughly speaking. So the first type is university in English, or Universität. So if you go to our study finder, by the way, which lets you to filter through this, I mean, you can find MBA programs that are provided only by Universität, for example, and we have this filter, then you will be able to find 34 programs in this subject. And if you go to another, when we go to another type of university, which is University of Applied Sciences, then you will be able to find 74 programs in this subject, and you can control really easily for that with the help of our study finder. Now, of course, that may be a question. So, Georgi, you are telling us about university and University of Applied Sciences. What is the distinction really between that? I also had this question when I was coming to Germany. So that's a really right question. And I would say that before we were saying that when it comes to PhD, it should be more about Universität, but that's not true anymore, because many University of Applied Sciences are now offering this option as well. But the main distinction right now, I would say, is that if you are more into research and theory, then Universität should be your place. But if you are more into application and practice, then University of Applied Sciences would be your place. Last but not least, also a small suggestion for those who are searching for the programs, trying to find the best fitting one for them. So don't be really strict in terms of wording. For example, when you write MBA, just MBA, you may not be able to find, you may miss some programs that may be really good fit for you. For example, you can find executive MBA in general management, or MBA leadership, people and organization, or international logistics and trade, and all this may fit into your interest. So I would suggest to play a little bit with words so that you don't miss those programs that might be really the best and the ideal programs for you. Okay. That was all from my part, and now we are moving to the most interesting part of our today's webinar. Let me introduce to our special guest. So, as I said in the beginning, Professor Dr. Andreas Gissel from Ludwigshafen, University of Business and Society. So you can see we are in Baden-Württemberg right now, more to the south of Germany, and Professor Dr. Gissel is Program Director of MBA International Business Management, and he will now start with the presentation. And of course, another special guest who from the same university, representing the same program, Nefen, who is a senior manager of this program. So I would like to invite both our guests to the floor, and I will stop sharing my screen right now. And yeah, you can start with your presentation.
All righty. Well, thanks very much, Georgi, for this excellent introduction. Can you please quickly confirm that you can see the presentation full screen now?
Yes.
All righty. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. And I'm happy to have this opportunity sharing some thoughts on why the international business program that we offer at the University of Business and Society in Ludwigshafen might be the right choice for you. And we understand that making this choice is pretty critical for you, as it will be probably a decisive decision that will influence, of course, your further career and, of course, your life as well. And in order to facilitate that decision, let me run you through what we call the top 10 reasons why joining our MBA degree in international business management might be the right choice for you. And as Georgie already said, we are offering this program at the University of Business and Society, which by the types that Georgie just introduced is a University of Applied Sciences. So we are focusing and interested in making things work in the real life, so to speak. Alrighty, so let's jump right into this. First reason why this might be the right program for you. Well, this is an MBA degree offered from a public university, which means, number one, which is very important, of course, for you, that the degree you're running for after graduation will be internationally recognized. So actually, we are following here a long distance learning approach. So this is a completely online program, but your status, if you enroll at the University of Applied Sciences in Ludwigshafen, would be equivalent, would be the same as for those who are in continued education programs, in programs which are not completely run online. And in fact, you are going to receive the same MBA certificate and the same diploma supplement as those fellow students who are not in a completely distance learning program enrolled would receive. So there's no distinction in that. We've been one of the first universities of applied sciences in Germany, by the way, to start continued education MBA programs. And this program has been run for years successfully as well. So in fact, we are quite experienced on the one hand. On the other hand, the size of the university, as you see, is, well, it's a rather medium-sized to small university, which means that at the end of the day, you as prospective students are not enrollment numbers to us, but you count as individuals, which I think is very important as well for you. Second reason, well, this is an officially accredited program. In fact, this is, I think, also something you should really look for when you start or when you think about studying, enrolling in an MBA program in Germany, because actually those programs that have official recognition they have to be accredited by an adequate accreditation agency, and we have run through this accreditation program by AQUAS, and in fact we have been re-accredited already. So as I said, we are no rookies in this arena. We've been in this for years. And the re-accreditation process ran real smoothly. So this is a program you can trust and where quality has been reassured. Georgia also mentioned that you need to make sure which program you're entering. Now, the program I'm talking about here is completely run in English language. So in fact, that means that you have to prove that you are capable of speaking English at the B2 level or higher, according to the Common European Framework of References for Languages. And I'll come back to that in just a second. This means that all the sessions that we have are run in English, all the exams are run in English, and we have a pretty international team of lecturers on the one hand, and a very international network of fellow students. And for that, it means that we are not talking German there, but English only, which of course is also, we believe, very important as we are addressing an international audience over here. Top reason number 4. Well, the program runs over 4 semesters. And of course, as I already mentioned, you are pretty flexible in terms of joining in because all modules are being offered each semester. So that means that you can actually enter the program almost any time. So we start twice a year. So you can enroll flexibly, and admission will be typically for what we call the summer or the winter semester. So the next deadline for online registration is in mid-January, and the kickoff then, the first sessions will be run in March. Now, one thing, of course, I at least understand is quite important to you. What is the financial investment? Now, for our program, the tuition fee is 2,250 euros per semester. So you multiply that by 4 and you have the total tuition. And I'll come back to that in just a second. So 3 of those semesters, actually the first 3, will be run introducing you to various aspects of international business, and the 4th semester then will be reserved for your for preparing your master's thesis. Now, returning to the question of tuition fees, you pay those tuition fees in 3 installments before the beginning of the respective semester. Number 5 reason. Now, as I already said, this is a complete online program, which means that you do not have to be physically present in Germany or on campus. Typically, we run our sessions on Fridays and or on Saturdays, and typically that is going to take place every second or third weekend. So the sessions that we run when we introduce you to certain aspects of international business are live recorded, which means that if for any reason you might not be able to participate in one of the sessions, you know, you'll not be left behind, but you'll have the chance of then having a look at the session later on at a time that is convenient to you. So you're not missing out on anything. The only thing, of course, that you'll miss then is the well, real-time interaction with your fellow students and the lecturers, to which I'll return in just a second. Now, of course, with this online offer, it is also important to make sure that you have access to the respective material, written material, online material, and we provide that through our virtual library and through e-learning systems, where you also have access to, let's say, case studies that might be part of the syllabus of a certain module. And you have also, of course, the possibility of having access to the presentations, to the PowerPoint slides, for example, that me and my colleagues use in order to familiarize you with those aspects that we believe are important for you to be successful in an international career. Now, as I already said, we are not a, this is not a mass event. So you count as individuals to us. You are not abstract immatriculation numbers, which means that you are enjoying a one-to-one, a one-on-one supervision, so to speak. So that means that you always have the possibility of directly interacting with your lecturers. So this, for example, is a slide that shows one of the sessions that one of my colleagues runs. And you see that, on the one hand, of course, he's in this case doing a presentation. On the other hand, we are doing very actively Q&A sessions. We engage in discussions with our students because we believe that rather learning terminology by heart or learning facts by heart, it's much more important to grasp the very nature of certain concepts in order to make them work in the real business life. And this is what we focus on. Being a University of Applied Sciences, as I said before, this is our core focus anyhow. Now, those sessions, as I said, are interactive by nature. We believe that it is very important that you have the chance, on the one hand, not only to ask questions in order to enable your or facilitate your understanding of certain concepts, but also to bring in your experience, because all the students that are enrolling in this program are business professionals. So they have already experienced from various perspectives what international business means. Actually, they are not all from the business field. So we have a variety of backgrounds in here, from development engineers to human resources people. We believe that this is a very important asset actually of the program, that you also share the views of your fellow students, thus have a different or learn a different perspective on things. And being able to switch perspectives, we believe, is very important for your career also after graduation. And well, as I said, this will not be like a mass event, so you will be in direct contact with your fellow students, with your supervisors, with your lecturers, and we are always focusing not on the theory behind concepts. Of course, that is the base in order to understand what a concept is all about, but our focus is on how to implement things, how to make them work in the real world. Number 8 reason, well, talking about internationality. Well, this is a international program by nature and in the true sense, which means that we have lecturers from, well, not all corners of the globe, but from various continents with various international backgrounds. And the same is also true for our students. For example, what you see on the left-hand side over here is Hamed. He is one of our lecturers for international marketing management, and he's from Cairo in Egypt. And well, you have me as a German lecturer, for example, in there as well. You have we have lecturers from Africa, from other European nations. So we bring in this international flavor, and this international perspective, we believe, is a true game changer for you. And with enrolling in our program, you do not only get access to the respective material and to the knowledge, but as I mentioned before, you also get in contact with people who are in the same situation as you are and who are also keen on pushing their international careers, which means that you have the possibility of doing extensive networking with them, of having a true intercultural exchange with them, and of learning their perspectives, which we believe is very important. So the benefits basically are a real intercultural exchange and a very diverse focus on different topics and subjects. Number 9 reason, well, we cover most of the, or let's say we cover all of the internationally important aspects of running an international career. So, for example, myself, I'm the lecturer also in this program for supply chain management and logistics. And for example, when we run this module, of course, you're going to get an introduction into the basics, but then we will focus on, as I said before, how can we make things work? What is the actual relevance these days for for example, in this case, supply chain management and logistics. And of course, for example, there is a very up-to-date reason for, discussing that in an international program, because we're all aware of the fact that the global COVID-19 pandemic has very adversely affected supply chains, and taking care of resilience in this case, of designing robust supply chains, is probably a game changer and a very important aspect for corporations these days who want to successfully tackle the international and dynamic competition. Now, and of course, as you see, we have a variety of other aspects that are important. As I mentioned before, all those sessions are run over the course of the first 3 semesters, and then the last semester will be reserved for conceptualizing and writing your master's thesis. And the master's thesis, actually, for most of the students that we have, is a real-world problem they tackle now with the background of the education they received from us. So they tackle a solution for a real-world problem in their master's thesis, and typically that's a problem that they encounter in their daily business. So in fact, there is an added value as well, because you take care of a problem that you might have been busy with for quite a time already before. And of course, this is also a good opportunity to show what you learned to your respective organization. And let me add that when it comes to those optional modules that you have over here, for example, if you have a finance background, or if you find finance very interesting, now this is one of the focus areas that you could focus on by having a bit of flexibility when it comes to this optional module. Alrighty, now 10th reason for choosing our program is that, well, we already said that we are providing a huge network of lecturers, professors, and fellow students. And we are also providing network and exploration trips that we had. So we've been to China, we've been to Morocco, for example, Northern Africa. And well, we are planning trips to one of our cooperation partners, which is in Scandinavia, in Finland, of course, depending on the further development of the global COVID-19 pandemic. So, and talking about this cooperation partner, now we have just finalized a double degree option for our program with this university, which is Satakunta University of Applied Sciences in Finland. And so if you add just 1 semester to the 4 semesters I just mentioned, then you will have the chance of gaining a 2nd degree in business management and entrepreneurship from our cooperation partner in Finland. So in fact, with 5 semesters, you could even then graduate with 2 MBA degrees. Alrighty, let me quickly summarize our top 10 reasons for thinking and taking into consideration of enrolling at our university in the MBA International Business Program Management. And I'll show this in a quick video. Let me just quickly jump over to the video. Alrighty, so thanks Hold on a second. Hold on a sec. Okay. There we go. So thanks very much for your attention. And in case you have any further questions, of course, feel free to ask Eva or myself. Thanks very much for your attention, and back to you, Georgie.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Gissel, for this interesting presentation, and lots of interesting pinpoints were mentioned. I mean, the basics that students should know. And during your presentation, you already answered actually some questions. And the first question was about accreditation, if I'm not mistaken. So you definitely answered this question also in the first slide. And thanks for Ms. Nefen for actively answering all the questions in the Q&A. I collected also some that I will address maybe towards the end of the presentation of our webinar. So thank you once again. And let me now share the screen and move to our next program of today. Okay, so yes, and now we are moving a little bit souther, closer to France, I would say. So to Offenburg, University of Applied Sciences. And as you can see, we have our guest, Lydia Schindler, who is program representative and who will present together with her colleague, MBA in International Business Consulting. So not to take a lot of your time, I will stop sharing my screen and will invite you to take the floor, please.
Well, thank you very much. And thank you very much for this possibility to present our MBA program, International Business Consulting. I would like to share my screen. So once again, I would like to invite you to study in English and live in Germany at the same time, and in our MBA International Business Consulting. I'm here with my colleague, Komila Topal. She's the coordinator of the program. So I'm very happy to have her with me here, and you will be able to ask her all the detailed questions afterwards too. I will just do a short introduction into the university in general at first. My name is Lydia Schindler, and I'm here from the Graduate School of Offenburg University, which branches all the international master's degree programs here at the university. Where are we situated? We are here in southwest of Germany too, as you already said. Thank you. And so we are both in a similar region, very close to France. Here we are only 30 kilometers from Strasbourg, which is already in France, and it's the European Parliament, seat of the European Parliament, and only about 1.5 hours from Basel. So we are here in this, really in this corner, southwest corner of Germany. It's a cross-national metropolitan area and a very dynamic region with high employment prospects. In one of Germany's strongest economic regions. So it's a great spot to start your, to do your studies here in Germany. And besides that, we are also having an extraordinary living standard here. We are having the Black Forest area, which is very touristic and beautiful mountain area right next to us too. So it's great from an economic view, and it's also great from the point of view that you have a great living environment here. This is just a short overview of Offenburg University. You see on the top our new media building on one side, on the other side, our campus Gengenbach. This is where our MBA is taught. So it's in a beautiful Benedictine monastery that you will have your lessons. We're not an online taught program. We're teaching in presence. So you will have all the experience to meet personally with your colleagues from all over the world who will study in this program. And we are a university founded in 1964. So we're one of the oldest universities of applied sciences, offer also praxis-oriented studies, which is very important to us. That our students have this hands-on approach. And right now, around 4,500 students study with us. So also, we are a smaller institution with about 12% international students. So we're happy to have this international atmosphere here at the campus. About half of our programs are bachelor and the other half are master's degree programs. And we have around 80 partners, universities worldwide. But not only that, we also have a lot of contact to the enterprises here in the companies in this region. There are a lot of internationally working small and medium-sized companies in this region, but also some bigger names that you know, like Bosch and Mercedes and so on. And we do a lot of applied research together with them too. So this helps us also to keep our equipment and laboratories always in state-of-the-art technology. We're very proud of the support for our international students. Actually, we participated in a survey a few years ago that was also supported by the DAD, the German Academic Exchange Service, and many German universities participated in that. And our international students ranked us #1 in the arrival assistance. So we were very happy to get that feedback from our international students, and we're always trying to improve that even furthermore. And therefore, we have an assistance for you, then finding accommodation. We don't leave you alone with that. We have a senior buddy system, which means that you will have an experienced student next to your side that can answer your question already before you come. And in the first days when you're here, he will show you around and explain you everything you need. We have orientation events. And something you can always count on is also the individual support and advice by the coordinator of each program. I think this is something very unique too. And that's Komila Topal for you in the MBA program. And she's already here today. So you see she's very involved, and she's always there for you when you have questions regarding your study program or your progress in your studies and so on. We also offer a German summer language school for you, which means an intensive German language course in September, which is a great start when you come to Germany to start off with this program, because you will be able to start to learn German or improve your German if you already have a German knowledge background. And we encourage you to go on with your German classes during the semesters when you are studying. There are always German classes offered too. And we also want you to have, definitely we want to have you to have success in your studies, but we also want you to have a great experience here. We want you to have cultural experience, to get to know the German culture, have a good time here, and therefore we also offer cultural and social programs with excursions, with get-togethers, and we would be happy to see you in these extracurricular activities. You may also participate in the sports program that we offer here. For example, there's a lake right next to the university where you can participate in the sailing group, or you can go mountain biking in the Black Forest Mountains, which are only about 15 minutes away too, or you can choose any other kind of sport that's offered here at the university. And there's also something very special that's called Senior Service, which is an initiative bringing together senior citizens and international students. There are around 80 seniors involved on a voluntary basis right now in this initiative, and they just want, the international students to feel welcome here, to have somebody to turn to when they want to learn to know something about the culture, want to get to know somebody else outside of the university. And it really reflects also the whole atmosphere here in Offenburg and at the university, but also in the town. People are really open and welcoming and very warm. So this is a great atmosphere to live and to study. Certainly, you can also participate in our job application trainings. And we have also a recruiting event here at the university, which is growing, and more companies every year are coming and participating. We actually had to put it outside now because we didn't have enough space inside the university anymore. And it just shows the great interest of companies for the graduates of Offenburg University. And at the end of your studies, we are happy to keep in contact with you through our international alumni network. We always organize events every second year usually, and also some special events once in a while, and we just want you to keep in contact with each other too. So this is a great possibility to network. But now let me hand over to Komila. She will present more in detail the program International Business Consulting to you.
Yes, thank you very much for having me today. We do have comprehensive services for our international students. Well, I'm here today to present more details about our program, International Business Consulting. And to start with, I would like to mention that our program prepares people with different backgrounds for a career for in-house or external consulting, and also managerial positions in different areas like logistics, marketing, or production, or any other fields. And we have been offering this program since 22 years. It was first offered in 1999, and it was also co-founded by DAAD. With the support of it, we were able to start this program, and it was also evaluated as the top 5 master programs right at the beginning. We were accredited by FIBA. It's an accreditation agency, very well-reputed accreditation agency in Germany in 2004 and 2005. And we were ranked by Quacquarelli Siemens place number 5 in the field of emerging markets in the years of 12, 13, and 14. And since 2020, our program is the part of the Black Forest Business School, which also has German-taught programs. How does our program differ from other MBA programs, classical MBA programs? It differs in 2 aspects. First of all, we use a lot of case studies and also running case studies in the courses. And second is that we have a lot of lectures, 63% of our lectures coming from the praxis, being consultants themselves, or having a company, or being holding a managerial position, higher, or CEOs. And that's also a full-time MBA program. As Lydia has already mentioned, it means that you will need to come to Germany to study, and it lasts only 3 semesters, and 90 ECTS credits will be earned at the end of the program, which are distributed over 3 semesters. So we always have the winter semester intake, because the courses of the second semester are built upon on the courses of the first semester, so that you can build up your expertise in this business related area. And in the third semester, our students write their master thesis. And it's in this semester is when students can actually do their internship. Internship is not the mandatory part of our program, but most of our students prefer and do take an advantage of the program that allows them to work part-time in this third semester, or to do the internship at the companies. And they also can write their master thesis at the companies they work, but it's not mandatory. They can also write their master thesis at the university as the thesis work, as the theory work. 8 ECTC credits out of 90 credits that will be earned are allocated for elective courses. We have a wide range of elective courses, and students decide for themselves in which area they would like to have better expertise. And I'm also proud to say that we offer German language courses throughout the program. We strongly encourage our students. It's not a requirement to know German to study at the program, but we strongly encourage our students to learn German because it will also facilitate taking on internships or jobs, or also permanent jobs in Germany. And therefore, we provided our students with an opportunity to learn German at the different levels. You can start from the A level, Or if you already know some German, you can continue with the B level, even the C level. And as I mentioned before, we have external lecturers also from abroad. Here you see some of them. And for instance, Dr. Smitri Brahakarsud is one of our graduates. She is now the professor at Fordham University, and now she comes every year to back to teach at our program. Well, to answer the question, what will be after the graduation, or what kind of positions do our graduates or our students can count on? I prepared this overview of the positions that our current students in the third semester now have. And I'm also proud to say that 90% of our current students in the third semester, they are employed. Some of them part-time, some of them as Werkstudenten, like working students, some of them are doing internship, and even a couple of them got a permanent job. And of course, our program is not only about the theoretical courses or the courses with the only carried out in the classroom, but it also has a lot of extracurricular activities. As our program is open for the applicants from different backgrounds, from different educational backgrounds, at the beginning of the, and also different cultures, at the beginning of the program, we start with the orientation week in Montafon. Montafon is a small town in Austrian Alps. We spend there a whole week doing some workshops to develop the soft skills, doing team building activities, and also spending a lot of time outside. And it's not only at the beginning of the program, but also during the program, during the semester or at the end of the semester, we also have a lot of intensive and outdoor activities. Those, the pictures that you can see are from the last semesters where we went on the Carnot tour, for instance, to France. We had this cooking competition in Black Forest, or this archery training. And of course, as in any other MBA program, we also have company visits. Well, to talk about the application requirements, as I told you before, our program is open for the applicants with any background. The most important thing that a person has a bachelor's degree and has 2 years of professional experience after the graduation. Our application procedure is done completely online at the university directly. So there are no third parties involved, which means that you can communicate with me as the coordinator of the program during the whole stage of procedures. And as it's going to be completely online, you will only need to send the hard copy documents after you are admitted and not before. And of course, there are no application costs required. Well, to sum up to the points, our International Business Consulting program has a hands-on instruction involving a lot of case studies. It's an accredited MBA program with excellent career opportunities. It has a close integration with the regional economy, and it has comprehensive individual services for international students. And as it's general in the southwest part of Germany, it has safe and friendly environment with easy access to Europe's touristic attractions. So thank you very much for having us. So if you have any questions, you are welcome to contact us at the email provided here or by a phone, or we can also arrange a Zoom video call if you wish, if you reach out to us over our email address. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for important details. Actually, yeah, it's really nice because you mentioned some details that were already asked throughout the Q&A, so you answered a lot. That makes me easy my life to pick up some other questions. So thank you very much, and I would invite also everyone to turn on their cameras if they wish. So maybe we could already turn to the final Q&A part. So yeah, thank you very much again to all of you for these interesting and wonderful presentations, and thanks for attendees for being so active in sending questions. Yeah, so let me start with questions to both programs. Let me start from the work experience, because before we received a question for Offenburg regarding experience, and just right now we also received some questions regarding for Ludwigshafen. So let me address this question then generally. So regarding work experience, so first of all, how much is required? As you already mentioned, just to once again mention it, and how strict it is in terms of this being an eligibility criterion. So anyone who wants can start.
Okay, so I will start. In our program, prospective students need to have a bachelor degree and then at least 1 year of working experience. We do have the case that they have, for example, just 6 months of working experience, and then we can start with a certificate. So, for example, just taking 1, 2, or 3 modules out of the first semester, and then they can switch after the first semester, after having the 12 months of working experience, into the whole MBA program. So that's the first thing. And of course, we've got in Rhineland-Palatinate a, I would say, a really great opportunity for students or prospective students, because they don't need to have the bachelor degree. So there's also another possibilities to have this with working experiences. So it is really like this. I think you can't see my fingers, but it's like this thick, you know, what we accept. So the best is always to write a mail to me or my colleague, and then we just have a look on the CV and the documents.
Thank you very much.
And from the Offenburg University, let me explain in the first place, why do we require 2 years of professional experience? For the MBA program, we expect our students to have some experience so that they can also be on the same page with the other participants, so that they can also learn from each other. And when we say it should be after the graduation, again, there might be, of course, what we do is we apply a holistic approach. When we assess the applications, there is this scoring model where everything is taken into account, the grades, the bachelor's grade, and also maybe activities that were outside of the professional experience. So therefore, yes, if you don't have strictly 24 months of professional experience, but you do have something that could be counted, I would suggest you just to drop me an email so that we can also have a look and to see if what can be expected as an experience. But as I told you before, the main reason for us to require these 2 years of experience is that we want this exchange of experience to happen at our program.
Okay, yeah, great. Thank you very much. So as dear attendees, as you can see, our speakers are quite open to your messages, and which is really great. And I also appreciated it when I was coming to Germany, that the communication was so smooth. And I would like to invite also speakers, if they would like to share in the chat their email, so it's easier for students to copy maybe and pass it as you would like to. And yeah, so as Professor Dr. Gissel said, we don't, you are not matriculation numbers for us. So from both programs, we can see that how much they invite you to send them messages and to clarify all your issues. This is really true. Okay, let me move to another important topic, which is we received some questions regarding language. You mentioned language requirement, language requirements, but still, regarding English language requirements. So it's often a question also that if I had my bachelor, let's say, totally in English, is it enough to show you that I studied in English and then I don't need any other proof of TOEFL or IELTS, or I still have to do that? So you can start, anyone who wants.
At our university, it doesn't have to be IELTS or TOEFL. The certificate of medium of instruction is also accepted as the proof of English proficiency.
Great to know. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we also accept, for example, a bachelor degree in English language, and additionally to that, we don't really want that prospective students do have additional costs. Therefore, we provide a free online English test at the university, which is also online, and duration 1 hour, and it's almost every month where we offer this test.
Okay, that's wonderful. That's great. Thank you for this answers that now it makes clear for everyone where do they stand, these programs, in terms of language requirements, so which is really good. And you can see on in the chat also, dear friends, those who are asking for emails, you can see already contact email from Ludwigshafen. I think we'll also, now we also see the Offenburg one as well. Okay, so I saw this question several times and now it popped up again. So let me ask this question together with another one. Regarding the age limit, I saw that Ms. Nefen already answered this question to another person, but there is also a new person who asked this. So let's address this once again. It seems to be important one today. So is there any age limit to get into your program? And let me also integrate it once again with another requirements of, do students have to pass any exams? And could you please be kind to once again just briefly mention the costs in general, because this question popped up several times. Maybe some students joined a little bit later. So to make it to summarize and make it clear. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you for the question. Well, we don't have any age limit, and to have one would be discriminatory. And in fact, we have students who are very experienced, being over 40, and also some younger ones, so that we have always this mixture of more experienced and fresh professionals as well. So there is no age limit at all. And in regard to the questions of the costs, so we have the whole duration and the whole cost, including the contributions and administrative fees. It's 11,252 euros, which are paid in 3 installments. You don't have to pay it in all at once. You can pay it in 3 installments.
Great. And one more thing was about exam. Is there a necessity to pass an exam or not?
As we accept applicants with different academic and professional background, those who do not have business background, they will need to pass the admission test. But the admission test is written after the program starts, after the students actually come to Germany. And this is not to eliminate already admitted applicants, but to prepare students for the program. It means that they will have the crash course on finance and cost management and marketing first, and then they will have to take this admission test. But don't worry, no one has failed it so far.
Great. Very optimistic note. And please, Ms. Nefen.
Yes, so our program costs in total 9,500 euro, which is 2,250 per semester, the student fee or semester fee, and then a additional 135 euro 44. You know, Germans are like really formal. So 134.54. Again, 135.44, the student social fee per semester. Students need to pay each semester in advance. We offer, of course, installments, 3 installments each semester. And what was the other question?
About age limit and exams.
Yeah, no age limit at all, of course. I mean, the older, the better, I think sometimes really, because it's great for, especially for younger students to, you know, to see this experience, to really get in contact. And I think we really, in each course, we've got a mixture of experiences in age, in background. So it's the best is like having 20s, 30s with a bachelor, and then working experience like 20, 30, 40 years coming from Colombia, US, wherever from. So that's really the best mixture for students as well as for the lecturers. So that's, yeah.
Maybe let me add just one quick remark concerning the age limit. No, well, as Eva said, there is none, and I believe that well, from the perspective of somebody preparing the lectures and running the sessions from a lecturer's point of view, so to speak, it is a very valid and valuable addition to the sessions that we have. If we had, and I mentioned that before, if we have a huge variety and diversity of perspectives. And of course, if you're talking about business, and if you're talking about business careers or problems that pop up in international projects or whatever, you have very different perspectives from people who are just starting their careers and those who are already senior managers. And I believe both perspectives benefit from each other. So we appreciate that a lot. And some of the most interesting discussions we've had actually came out of that. A couple of years before, I would have said that we still have students who are older than I am, but that seems to be the exception now rather than the rule. not meaning that the students get younger, but me getting older.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you very much for
we definitely encourage also all the students to join.
And maybe let me add one more thing, Georgie, if you don't mind, because yeah, sure. what we find is that very often people who are senior managers, of course, they have a gap since they were engaged in their university career, if they had a previous one. And I think one of the questions I read also addressed that, whether, will I be able to slide in smoothly, even if it's been 20, 25, 30 years since I graduated from university. And you need be afraid of any transfer problem there, because of course, you might have, well, on the one hand, of course, it might be harder then to understand some of the concepts when it goes into more the science aspect. But on the other hand, you benefit most definitely from your experience. And as we've experienced with integrating those people, I think there's no worries for that.
Great, thank you very much for this valuable contribution. So yeah, guys, you can see that there's no age limit, and I think with the exam issue in Ludwigshafen also there's no exam thing, right? Or
it depends. If the grade is, for example, lower than like in German system 2.5, then we need to do a motivational oral exam with a motivational letter before. We just want to make sure that we have motivated students, yeah, so it makes the group really really great. Yeah, this is an online course we offer, so we really like to have students who are organized and motivated to do it.
Fair point. Thank you very much. And you mentioned the important topic of German grade of 2.5, which sometimes our students, what are you talking about? So what is a German? So for this, I would like to ask kindly Sibei to share our links for the GPA converters, so the students may know approximately how do they fit into the German system. It's always nice to know that. And yeah, that was really great. I really enjoy your answers. That's why I'll ask one more question and we'll finish with that. You mentioned deadlines, some deadlines, I mean specific ones, but I have a question regarding any differentiation. Sorry, because sometimes I've seen that deadlines differ. For example, if you are EU student or international student, and sometimes there's some differences. I would like to ask you, both programs, is there any differentiation here, or there's deadline for everyone is the same?
Well, for us, the deadline for everyone is the same. It's the 30th of June. However, we accept the applications on the rolling basis. The earlier an applicant applies, the earlier we can complete the procedures and issue an admission letter. And we strongly advise to apply as early as possible. And one reason is just this time-consuming visa procedures that we have. So depending on the country, person should plan several months ahead so that they can get visa and come in time to Germany, which is September or October each year.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's great.
Yes, so we don't have this visa issue, but of course, it is better to apply earlier because some documents, especially if the bachelor degree is, for example, from Bangladesh, then it takes ages sometimes to, to see if it's recognized in Germany. So I always recommend students to apply. Yeah, the earlier the better. But the deadline for the summer semester is 15th of January. So, Christmas present, for example, a new MBA at our university would be a great
definitely
example. Yeah, so, and no restrictions. So for all applicants, it's the same deadline.
Great. Thank you so much. Ms. Lydia, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I would just note that we do not have an intake in summer semester. So that's why, we have that date that my colleague just mentioned for the winter semester. As we do not have summer semester.
Important point. Thank you so much for your answers. I really enjoyed this Q&A really a lot, and thanks for wonderful presentations, and thanks for attendees for being with us and sending these questions. It was quite active, if you ask me, and I really liked it. So I see some more questions there, but I will not address them now because we are already not to be over time. But for those who have particular questions again to the programs, you have the emails in the chat. So I would also encourage, like the program representatives encourage, to text them. But if you have some more general questions which are not particular to the programs, you can see it on the slide. You can see it also in the chat. So you can send us emails to us, and we will try our best to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being with us. And last but not least, also Sibe already shared the links, direct links in the chat. So it will be also great to get your feedback on our webinar. I personally read these feedbacks, and it's really nice to know how you felt about it. So I would expect it maybe on Facebook or Google. You can always give us some rates. Okay, so once again, thanks a lot. It was really interesting, really engaging webinar, and I wish you a good day, good evening, good morning, depending on where are you based all. So yeah, have a nice, I don't know what to say, which part of the day, but anyway, so thanks a lot, everyone, and bye-bye.
Thank you, bye.
Thanks for hosting, Georgie, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.